And so it can very well, in these circumstances, make the difference. We thought that Hillary Clinton earlier on perhaps would have had this election sewn up, but it didn't turn out that way. They are neck and neck, and it's anybody's race. They're splitting states. Massachusetts, Virginia, Ohio and Texas are the big ones coming up on the Super Tuesday, March 4th. And we're encouraging everyone out there to go and register to vote. If you haven't already, register and get out there and vote. Early voting starts here pretty quick. And also, we've got some really heated up local races, including the county commissioner's race in Precinct 1 that is up for grabs, and the sheriff's race. And so we are really wanting everybody to get involved out there. And the Latino community is earning its place of its own out there, because men like Senator Kennedy are reaching out to the Latino vote, and the Kennedy family are reaching out for the Latino vote because they're endorsing Barack Obama. Our political analysts found out that they didn't want that to happen. The Clinton camp was really concerned about that and did try to thwart those efforts. And we've seen from the political analysis that the involvement of our former president, Bill Clinton, in the campaign, they kind of toned that down a little bit in the last couple of weeks. The Barack Obama campaign has been indicating that they were the ones that brought out the race card, and they were spinning it in a way saying this is the worst in politics, and it was a very low thing to do. So I think that many analysts, even our own here at South Texas Crossfire, are in the belief that they don't anticipate that Hillary Clinton will bring out that race card, as they say. Again, I think the Clintons realized that that was a mistake. Now, in all fairness, the senator from Massachusetts did endorse John Kerry the last election, and didn't carry it, but Massachusetts was taken by Hillary Clinton, but still, it's not just one state that matters. The Kennedy legacy is one that touches everyone's life. When you have somebody like Senator Edward Ted Kennedy, who has passed such titanic legislation, in Time magazine in 2006, they held the belief, and a lot of people echo that he was one of the top 10 most effective legislators in the nation's history, and that he had passed so much legislation that it literally affected every man, woman, and child in this country. And for that, it was a privilege to interview him and hear his thoughts. And again, his comparisons to Martin Luther King and to John F. Kennedy, I think that there's a passing of the torch, if you will, between the elderly and also the young that are coming in, a new change. But many people, again, the first thing I asked Senator Ted Kennedy this morning was, people say that he is a speech maker. People say that Barack Obama just talks eloquently, but Hillary Rodham Clinton is coming out hard saying, we just don't need speeches, we need action. And so I asked Senator Ted Kennedy, do you believe that Barack Obama is a man of action? And he indicated emphatically yes. He indicated that he had already worked with him on many pieces of legislation and laws that would affect the health, education, welfare, and yes, even the war. And also in his endorsement speech of January 28, 2008, we wanted to underline that Senator Ted Kennedy brought out the idea, actually the fact that that Barack Obama had opposed the war since the very beginning, even when it was not cool to go against the war in Iraq. Senator Kennedy has been emphatically against the war, yet he is on the Armed Services Committee and provided armor for those Humvees that did not have the requisite armor in order to prevent further loss of life and limb. So it's a very fine balance there, and I think in our political analysis, the way we see it, it's going to be a very close race. People need to come out, and many people who thought that some of the other southern states that don't matter on the Super Tuesday and everything, that it was an unfair system that we have, it's all changed. This election is going to be very exciting. because Texas matters, Ohio matters, Mississippi matters, Tennessee matters. Everyone who is involved needs to get out there and vote, who's registered to vote. One of the speeches that Barack Obama gave was that there are Obamacans, Republicans who are supporting Barack Obama, and they say to him, "I support you." And then he whispers back, "Thanks." So everybody cracked up about that, but he was really a dynamic speaker, and everybody's saying, how does this guy do it? He doesn't have speech makers, he speaks from the heart, and he comes out and it's always fresh, So I think that's one of the things that Senator Clinton's worried about, is how he can captivate the hearts and minds, and the tremendous outpour of support for the youth that are coming out. They're organizing in record numbers. We have not seen this in the last 4 or 5 decades, the involvement. And as Senator Ted Kennedy said in his endorsement speech that you can see on YouTube, he indicated that not since the Vietnam War have so many young people come out in droves and organized, and it is Barack Obama who's bringing those people out. The African American vote, he's got 80–90% of that already. The Hispanics, though, the vote is up for grabs. Early on, some of the poll numbers are that it's about 55–45, Hillary Clinton versus Barack Obama as far as getting the Latino vote. And many people are questioning that. Is it a race issue? Is it a question of experience? Or are they questioning his religious affinity? Why are they not supporting him? And I think that one of the things that might be affecting that is the Latino community has not been introduced to Barack Obama sufficiently, other than the last couple of weeks, him giving out messages, sending the message to the public and reaching out to the Latino community. But that is something that is evolving right now. And again, we don't know, and we can't stereotype that Latinos are going to support either Hillary Clinton or they're going to support Barack Obama. But one thing is for sure, the numbers are coming out that the youth are supporting Barack Obama in record numbers. And no one expected him to do such, I know I didn't, down here in Texas, for him to climb so high up in the numbers and surpass her in delegates. And that's where we stand right now. We can't forget about the Republicans, because you're looking at John McCain, who really doesn't need that many delegates. I think he's already at 400, 500 and climbing. And Romney's at about, well, actually, I think he's about 700. He needs about 1,100 to win. And Romney's at 250. And of course, we've got that Huckabee factor. Huckabee also has held his own for a while, but I think quite frankly, his fire's dying. The Republicans also, you have to look at politics from that standpoint as well. Their whole strategy changes depending if Hillary gets the nod or if Barack gets the nod. And we have to keep that in mind. There's also the factor that we have to remember, if Hillary, say for instance, gets the nod, will she, as the Democratic choice for presidential candidate in November, will she reach out to Barack? Many political analysts here at South Texas Crossfire and around the nation are in the belief that if that occurs, that Mr. Obama might be asked by Ms. Clinton, but the question is, will Mr. Obama, Senator Obama, accept that? We've seen the analysis where Al Gore was the vice president, and really, she had a bigger office than Al Gore between us. Yeah, it was, and Clinton's already said, she helped me run this country, and Bill Clinton said, and I'll be there to help her run it. The number 2 slot for VP, does anybody want that? I don't know. It's hard to tell. And many believe that if Barack got the nod, that I think he would not reciprocate and extend out the vice presidential position to Hillary Rodham Clinton, but would draw from someone else. But it's too early to tell. And the other thing was that the Barack camp did not bite when that was thrown out there as an olive branch, and they said, do you want to be VP? His camp wisely said, We're not even thinking about that. We're running our race to become the President of the United States of America.